Well, here's an I went to a slots forum, which I didn't think there were like really hardcore slots guys.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, there are people who are obsessed with slots, man.
Well, I posted something about a guy who said he does slots professionally, and there were 5 guys arguing in the replies about how you can actually do it. They're just going off on each other. This guy Zen Grifter says, I haven't posted anywhere in ages, and those who recognize me know that I'm a longtime card counter / advantage player. And
that's like saying I'm an unnatural bodybuilder.
In recent years, I have increasingly been hearing on the grapevine that more and more bona fide advantage players were focusing on slot machines. I finally reached out to a couple people in the know about a year ago and told them, hey, I'm behind the curve. I need to know what's going on with the machines. And now I know. And on any given day, I play more slot machines than I played in the entirety of my life prior to 2022. My experience in 2022 has been that slot machines blow blackjack away, requiring less bankroll and generating more profit per hour. Also, my wife says it's healthier for me. Because I have to stay on my feet moving from machine to machine and casino to casino and not just plop down at a table for a couple of hours. Okay.
So yeah, my main exercise is moving between slot machines at the casino. So you telling your doctor that? Like, oh man. Listen, advantage playing, you're obviously familiar with that, Tom. You can't really do it in America because they use, I don't know, or you can't do it in Canada definitely because they just use so many decks. So as far as like card counting is impossible because they're using like
usually pit bosses are so sharp they can spot that kind of stuff and
when it's at a high level. So I will say this: I lived in the Bahamas for a short period of time. My mom lived there for years, and I was over there living for 6 months. And they had casinos that had one deck blackjack. And I played it, and I can count one deck, I can count it like the way I know there's different methods for using it. I count it by actually remembering every single card that's come out. So I have like a photographic memory. And so I played that and won quite a bit of money. Like, I never like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I would go there regularly and play. And yeah, they would, I just made sure not to go too crazy with it or anything like that. But yeah, it was very, and you can't go that crazy. You're still gambling because just for anyone who's listening, if you don't know what counting cards is and what the advantage is, you start betting more when you get to the end of the deck because which cards are there. So I know the chances of me getting a card here are so much better. So I just start betting higher. And it does, it's not guaranteed that you're going to win every time, but you mostly win.
I would have lost every penny I would have been in there like, I'll bet $2,000 on this thing. Because I just don't have that thing. Here's another guy in the slots message board. Hi, everyone. I got a problem with 22-bet online casino. I'm playing Riot slot, and I already made 3,000 bets with no win. I got at least 1,000 recorded. I don't know what to do. I contacted the support, but they told me to keep playing because it's a lottery.
I contacted support and they told me to give them some more money. Believe it or not. That is pretty awesome though. Like listen, if you pulled that many times and didn't get a single win, I mean, that does feel like a lot, but that's part of slots. I don't think you can call customer service when you don't win a gamble.
Let me speak to the manager of slots then.
So this next guy, Frank Neelan, responds. He goes, if you're interested on how to research them, I'd be qualified to answer that question. So now a guy pops into the thread and he's trying to get this guy to sign up for slot classes.
Slot classes?
Yeah.
Dude. Holy shit, man.
These boys are pits of vipers. All of the Reddit, everything. It's just everybody is trying to fucking get an advantage and everybody's trying to make money off of you. It is crazy to read.
They know they fucking can too because they're dealing with people who are notoriously bad with their money. So they'll throw their money away for nothing. So you're just like, hey, I take this class and it'll make you a better gambler. They're like, fuck yeah, I'll throw $1,000 at that. I just fucking gambled that away last weekend,
So I don't know who I'm more enraged at, the person that would take that class or like the asshole that would like even suggest they do it. You know.
Well, I saw a guy get really yelled at. So so this guy, if you're interested on how to research them, I'd be qualified to answer that question. And then our guy that was talking goes, you're a great theorist and you just want to tell stories. I do not believe that you can discover the purpose, and that is how to get a real advantage playing slots. So Frank comes back and goes, theorist? I ran a professional slot team with 88 players. And
whoa. What do you mean? Who'd you play? What do you mean a professional slot team?
That I do not. I have no idea.
Tom, you're a gambling expert here. Have you ever seen any sort of slot competitions or anything?
This is the nerdiest slots. I confess it's not my purview. But that's the nerdiest goddamn thing I've ever heard. It's like let's be like the Ocean's 11 guys, but for slots. You know?
Yeah, well, learn how to do slots really well. I mean, and it's all about just like knowing, like it's nothing to do with because you're just pulling the lever. So it all has to do with knowing when to sit down at a machine or move machines. Or I'm guessing, like I don't even understand what it would be. Like what would there be?
So Frank says, I worked as a pro beating the casinos for 30 years. I also did game design for some of them. I'm channeling my best New York accent. Do you know who I am? Look at me when I'm talking to you, LOL. I am many things. Theorist is not one of them. We used to have to walk the reels and map the physical stops back in the day. When chip-controlled slots became the standard, I was responsible for, quote, recruiting casino techs to give us the par sheets. We did not use bribery. We called it incentive enhancement. I believe that this man is lying, number one. But also his advice to this guy is to get a team of 88 guys and start bribing people on the
floor. Basically you got to get a team of minimum 88. I mean, you can get by with 86, but you want 88.
88's ideal.
That's ideal, you know? And then you want to start actively, you want to go and start doing bribery to the mafia controlled casinos in your area and just see how that works out for you.
We went to
I promise you all this. And I hope every guy within earshot hears this. That is one of these guys. Any advantage that you think that you could have has been thoroughly negated by bigger fish who are utilizing things like AI and algorithms now to do. They don't even do it themselves.
Yeah.
They don't even do it themselves. My aforementioned cousin, Adam Adams, worked for this guy, Billy Walters, who just released the book Gambler, Memoir of a Life at Risk.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy Walters is from Munfordville, Kentucky. He's this guy that started out, this hillbilly guy that just started out in these back rooms like a long time ago, and then eventually became so successful and such a good gambler that Vegas casinos, every casino wouldn't take his action. Adam's job was to be his guy in Cincinnati. So Adam would wake up at the ass crack of dawn when they would put the lines for games up and run and get the line before they knew Billy's money was coming in. So they would change the lines. People don't understand how dramatically these lines change. When you go the old school way, when you're like there when they set the lines, it's insane. So by the time it gets downstream, this is what the DraftKings and the Fanatics guys and the FanDuel guys and all these jackasses don't understand. By the time it gets downstream to you, you've lost any advantage that you could have had.
I see.
And yet you think you're like fucking Danny Ocean and you're going to come up with some brilliant scheme to really like crack them this time. You know,
you have to get lucky. The truth is you have to get lucky.
Or you
so
get
few people. There's like 9 guys in the world that are successful, like meaningly successful gamblers.